The way this piece jumps as I wire it off shows me that I got my timings wrong. I've made videos before about how I leave my pieces on these wooden batts overnight to firm up slightly, but essentially the reason I do it is it allows a little more control over the quality of finish of the rim, and allows me to wire off and handle the piece when it's a little more firm than it would have been if it was freshly thrown. Ideally, the wire passes smoothly underneath and gives me a perfectly flat base. But as the clay gets drier, it gets harder and harder to get the wire underneath. Also, if you leave it for long enough, the clay will shrink as it dries and will eventually just fall off the bat of its own accord. This means there's a stage in between a level of dryness that's perfect for wiring off and a level of dryness that's perfect for falling off of its own accord, where it becomes increasingly difficult to get the wire underneath the clay, and the clay is more likely to release from the bat of its own accord. I knew this piece was a little bit too dry, so I tried to wire off as quickly as possible, which reduces the likelihood of the clay releasing from the bat entirely, but you can still see a raised bit on the base where the piece started to lift up rather than wiring cleanly. Thankfully, it's quite easy to remove that extra little bit of clay before you start trimming, although it will give you a non-flat base if you don't and try and trim with that lump there. But ideally, I time the wiring off better and I don't have this issue at all.